Barron Trump towers over most at a jaw-dropping 6 feet and 9 inches and boasts a net worth of $60 million, making him a striking mix of wealth and influence. From lavish penthouses to the global spotlight, his life is nothing short of extraordinary. But there's more to him than just luxury and fame. Some facts about Barron Trump might just leave you speechless. Born into wealth, Barron William Trump is the youngest son of Donald and Melania Trump, living a life that skips past privilege and lands straight into something out of a movie. Born on March 20th, 2006, he's been surrounded by opulence from the very beginning. Even his first baby gift, a solid gold carriage from Ellen DeGeneres, set the stage for a childhood beyond imagination. Forget plastic baby rattles. Barron's toys were custom-made treasures shipped in from all corners of the world, as if regular store-bought ones just weren't up to standard. Growing up, Barron didn't just live in Trump Tower, he practically had his own empire within it. His early years were spent in the family's $100 million penthouse, a 33,000-square-foot masterpiece decked out in Louis XIV-style luxury. Picture marble floors, gold-plated accents, and ceilings so grand they could make Versailles look understated. And if that wasn't extravagant enough, he had an entire floor all to himself, his own personal kingdom, complete with a nursery, playroom, and living space, all designed with more marble than an art museum. Nap time with sweeping views of Central Park? That was just part of the daily routine. Then there's his wardrobe, which could put high-fashion runways to shame. With Melania, a former supermodel, as his mother, Barron was making fashion statements before he could even talk. Custom-tailored suits, designer shoes worth thousands, and outfits that screamed, "Future mogul." This was no ordinary childhood wardrobe. Even as a toddler, he was outdressing most adults, setting the bar impossibly high for style. But if you think his life is just about luxury and designer labels, think again. Things only get more surprising from here. At just 2 months old, Barron made his first public appearance in a way that very few infants ever do, on The Oprah Winfrey Show. Donald and Melania introduced their youngest son to the world, with Donald calling him a miracle, never one to miss a dramatic moment. Melania, meanwhile, shared some lighthearted stories, including Donald's short-lived attempt at changing diapers, something he apparently tried once before deciding it was best left to others. This rare, playful glimpse into their family dynamic set the tone for the mix of curiosity and amusement that has surrounded Barron ever since. At 11, he made history by becoming the first boy to live in the White House since John F. Kennedy Jr. For most people, the White House is a symbol of power. But for Barron, it was just home. Though a home with a private suite, top-of-the-line gadgets, and a gaming setup that most teens could only dream of. While other kids his age were heading off to soccer practice, he was attending formal dinners with world leaders and living under constant Secret Service protection. Yet, despite all the attention and the unusual circumstances, he managed to carry himself with a calm, composed demeanor, offering the world a rare glimpse of someone growing up in the spotlight without losing his cool. Barron's education has been nothing short of elite, reflecting his family's focus on excellence. From Columbia Grammar in Manhattan to St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Maryland during his father's presidency, and finally to Oxbridge Academy in Florida, he attended institutions where tuition fees could rival an average annual salary. Yet, despite the privileged surroundings, Barron found ways to stay grounded. At St. Andrews, he reportedly asked his driver to pick him up a mile away from campus, just to avoid the spectacle of a motorcade escorting him home. "It's hard to be normal when your ride looks like a convoy," a classmate once joked. But this small act of modesty spoke volumes about his character. With a $60 million trust fund, stakes in companies like Amazon and Tesla, and properties worth millions, Barron's life is undoubtedly shaped by privilege. Yet beneath all the wealth and high-profile exposure, he remains a young man quietly finding his own way. Raised in gold-plated surroundings, he has had a front-row seat to power. But his journey isn't just about being a Trump, it's about defining himself. The question remains, will Barron step out from his father's shadow and create his own legacy? What do you think? From the moment he was born, style has been second nature to Barron Trump, and it's easy to see why. With his mother, Melania Trump, being a former supermodel, an impeccable sense of fashion was practically in his DNA. Whether it was dressing up in custom-tailored toddler suits or effortlessly pulling off polished casual wear, Barron has always displayed a natural confidence through his wardrobe. His ability to balance luxury and sophistication without appearing excessive has set him apart. Who could forget the striking navy suit he wore to his father's presidential inauguration? The look was so memorable that it earned him the unofficial title of the best-dressed Trump. Even in his more relaxed moments, he pairs designer pieces with an understated elegance that ensures he never looks out of place. His approach to fashion mirrors his approach to life. Lavish, yet never overwhelming, always commanding attention without demanding it. But there's more to Barron than his affinity for designer suits and tailored perfection. One of the most relatable things about him, despite his opulent lifestyle, is his passion for soccer. In a world of private jets and luxury cars, the simple love of the game remains one of his truest connections to something universal. His enthusiasm for soccer has been evident in many ways, whether attending matches, meeting world-famous footballers like Wayne Rooney, or simply keeping up with the sport. And of course, who could forget his humorous exchange with FIFA officials? In a moment that had both fans and critics laughing, Barron once asked why there wasn't a Trump Stadium included on the world tour. It was a cheeky remark that showed not only his deep interest in the game but also his sharp wit, a clear trait he's inherited from his father. To Barron, soccer isn't just a hobby. It's a rare bridge between his world of wealth and the everyday experiences shared by millions across the globe. Now, as he steps into adulthood at 18, Barron is gradually embracing more of the public spotlight. Recently named as a delegate at the Republican National Convention, he is taking his first steps into the political sphere, signaling that he might be considering a future in leadership. Unlike the media's often exaggerated portrayals of him, Barron presents himself as calm, composed, and intensely private, defying the expectations placed upon him. He has been careful about the way he carries himself, proving that he is not just Donald Trump's son, but a young man shaping his own narrative. Whether through his commitment to education, his strategic mindset in sports and gaming, or his ability to handle public interest with quiet confidence, Barron is crafting a story that speaks of opportunity, responsibility, and independence. For all the privilege and luxury surrounding him, Barron's story is just as much about balance. He has mastered the art of staying grounded, even in a world where immense wealth can easily overshadow individuality. Despite the access he has to extraordinary wealth, his genuine interests and passions keep him anchored. His ability to move through life with both extravagance and authenticity proves that true influence isn't just about status, it's about presence. While others chase headlines, he makes an impact without making unnecessary noise, a rare quality in an era where attention-seeking is the norm. Sometimes the most powerful statements are made without a single word. And if you're wondering what's next for him, stay tuned, because his next move could surprise everyone. While most teens are busy perfecting their TikTok dances and keeping up with social media trends, Barron is focused on something far more advanced: cryptocurrency. Word has it that during one of Donald Trump's campaign meetings, Barron left a room full of political and financial heavyweights speechless with his deep understanding of blockchain technology. Not only did he showcase an impressive level of knowledge on the subject, but he even threw out a few innovative ideas for future tech investments. Imagine being a teenager and already having the ability to advise billionaires on cutting-edge financial strategies. While most kids his age are thinking about their next social media post, Barron is busy considering the future of digital finance. If that's not a next-level side hustle, what is? And his skills don't stop there. Barron's linguistic abilities have also caught the public's attention. Thanks to his Slovenian heritage through his mother, Melania, he's believed to be fluent in at least 3 languages, including Slovenian. In fact, a viral clip from 2010 captured him speaking with a Slovenian accent, leaving fans fascinated by his multilingual abilities. While many people spend years struggling to learn a second language, Barron has been effortlessly switching between them since childhood. With this kind of skill set, forget just being most likely to succeed. He could be brokering international deals or negotiating UN treaties before he even turns 20. Even in his downtime, Barron's interests seem to have a strategic edge. Gaming isn't just a casual pastime for him, it's a test of intellect and planning. Whether he's orchestrating virtual takeovers in online strategy games or mapping out his next move on the soccer field, his mind is always working a few steps ahead. Word on the street is that even his video game sessions involve more critical thinking and planning than some multi-million-dollar tech startups. It's clear that no matter the arena, Whether fashion, politics, business, or gaming, Barron is playing a game where he's always thinking beyond the present moment, positioning himself for success. As Barron Trump's journey unfolds, it's becoming increasingly clear that he's not just another heir to a famous name. He's quietly yet strategically defining his own identity, making moves that hint at a future where he's known not just for who he is, but for what he accomplishes. The world may be watching, but Barron isn't rushing to prove anything. He's letting his actions speak for themselves. And if his track record so far is any indication, the best is yet to come. Life with a Secret Service detail definitely has its perks, but it also leads to some hilarious moments. Take his first day at NYU's Stern School of Business, for example. A well-meaning professor, assuming his agents were visiting dignitaries, asked if they needed anything. One of them simply replied, "We're just here for Barron." Cue the awkward laugh, and just like that, a new campus legend was born. No matter where he goes, Barron always looks effortlessly put together. Whether it's a black tie event or just a casual soccer practice, his wardrobe could easily land him in a fashion editorial. He's mastered quiet luxury, proving that you don't need flashy logos to make a statement. Fans have even crowned him the reigning king of understated style. Which of his looks do you think defines his signature aesthetic? Let us know. Since starting at NYU, Barron has become something of a viral mystery on TikTok. Spotting him on campus has turned into a game, with students buzzing about his towering height, sharp outfits, and effortlessly cool demeanor. One viral comment summed it up perfectly. Barron doesn't need to speak, his vibe does all the talking. With this kind of presence, it's no surprise he's already an internet legend. And of course, there's his love life. Barron's rumored romance with model Clara Jones has set the internet ablaze, with fans speculating about the youngest Trump's dating history. The two were spotted together at events, fueling even more gossip. But Clara isn't the first name to be linked to him. TikTok has been buzzing with stories about his high school flings for years. Whether true or just rumors, one thing's for sure. Barron's love life is just as fascinating to fans as his wardrobe. But behind the scenes, Barron isn't just observing, he's strategizing. Family insiders have described him as a silent genius, playing a key role in connecting Trump to Gen Z. Viral media moments like Trump's podcast with Aiden Ross and his headline-making appearance on Joe Rogan's show are rumored to have Barron's fingerprints all over them. As Jason Miller put it, everything Barron touched turned to gold. Quiet, sharp, and endlessly effective. He's proof that even the youngest Trump knows how to play the long game. And while we're on the subject of the long game, Donald Trump's approach to parenting his children was centered on the concept of independence. It was important to him that they not use the Trump name as a crutch in any way. Instead of that, he instilled in them from a young age the significance of being able to fend for themselves. Just take a look at Ivanka. When she was a teenager, she was not given a comfortable office. Before she eventually earned a position in the Trump Organization, she began her career by working diligently in a variety of businesses, including the sale of jewelry. This was a very clear message. If you want something, you should own it. Instead of only telling, Donald chose to lead by doing. He was able to handle high-pressure circumstances, make difficult decisions, and persevere through losses without losing his concentration, which his children witnessed. Eric once observed that the experience of witnessing him face obstacles firsthand taught us more than any lecture could ever hope to impart. Trump demonstrated that confidence is a result of expertise and perseverance, whether it was in the context of closing real estate deals or managing a presidential campaign. Everyone had to put forth a lot of effort in order to acquire a position in the Trump home. It was not a choice. When Don Jr. was younger, he remembers spending his winter breaks working as a bartender at a ski lodge rather than relaxing at a luxury resort. Ivanka, instead of spending her summers at a resort, she spent her time working on construction sites, where she spent her time shadowing foremen and organizing materials. She added that my father had a strong desire for us to respect work. It was not luck that brought Donald's success. Rather, it was tenacity, resilience, and putting in the hours that were required. Every single task had some sort of value, whether it was hauling logs or learning company from the ground up. The takeaway was quite clear. Putting in a lot of effort does not just develop careers, it also builds character. Within the Trump household, discipline served a purpose, and it was accompanied by 3 unwavering rules. Smoking, drinking, and drug usage were strictly prohibited. The constraints that Donald imposed were not only arbitrary, rather they were intended to develop in him a sense of concentration, self-control, and a basis for success. Ivanka stressed that it was not about simply refusing for the sake of refusing. Rather, it was about removing distractions so that we could maintain our focus. What's the big picture? The foundation for doing great things is laid by discipline that is applied with intention. Discipline in matters of finance was another fundamental component of Trump's parenting style. His children did not receive blank checks or unlimited spending, despite the fact that they were raised in a rich environment. Ivanka Trump's request to reside in Trump Tower while she was attending college was granted by Donald Trump, but only under one condition. "It is necessary for you to make rent payments," he informed her. Simple as it may sound, the lesson was that privilege is merely a starting point and not a guarantee. Donald Trump ensured that his children would value what they earned by establishing a connection between financial independence and responsibility. They were aware that nothing was worth having unless they worked for it, whether it was in the management of their riches or in the development of their careers. Donald Trump made it a top point to be present for his children, despite the fact that his calendar was quite busy. Ivanka recalls that she called her father during a significant period in her professional life, and despite the fact that he was in the middle of a conference, he took up the phone and gave her his undivided attention. It was always his method of making us feel as though our troubles were important, she recalled. When Eric sought assistance on how to negotiate, he had a similar experience. Trump not only provided counsel, but he also followed up thereafter. These seemingly insignificant yet profound events served to bolster trust and demonstrated that even the busiest parents are able to find time for the things that are truly important. When it came to enforcing discipline, Trump struck a mix between understanding and severe love. Instead of reacting with anger when Don Jr. made a costly mistake, he gently talked him through the repercussions and showed how to avoid making the same mistakes in the future through the use of positive reinforcement. By taking this method, he encouraged resiliency and confidence in his children, demonstrating that failure was not the end, but rather a stepping stone to development. Ivanka made the observation that he did not intimidate us into success. Rather, he guided us to achieve it. His guiding principle was quite clear. Discipline ought to be a tool for progress, not a means of fear. In order to nurture the willingness to take risks and progress, it was important to encourage learning from mistakes. Most likely, the most important lesson that Trump imparted was the need of setting a good example. They did not merely hear about the concept of resilience, rather they witnessed it in action. Eric explained that we learned how to maintain our composure in high-pressure situations by observing him handle difficult situations. Trump demonstrated that the key to success is to confront obstacles head-on, whether it be in the realm of business or politics. Through observing Dad persevere in the face of challenges, his children gained the understanding that self-assurance, self-control, and tenacity were the true factors that determined success. Mar-a-Lago, however, is only one of the many jewels that make up the Trump family's real estate business. Barron also spent his childhood in the opulent penthouse of Trump Tower, which was a 3-story apartment that was adorned with gold and marble and featured views of Manhattan that reached from floor to ceiling. In the course of his father's presidency, the White House became his home, putting him in the position of residing in one of the most famous homes in the history of the world. In addition to this, the Trumps are the owners of the expansive Seven Springs estate in Westchester, which is a hideaway stretching across 230 acres, and providing a striking contrast to the lavish lifestyle of city dwellers. Barron is growing up immersed in the world of high-stakes real estate, which is an empire that he may one day develop. He is surrounded by such luxury by any means necessary. The fact that Barron has been brought up with a sense of prudence and responsibility is despite the fact that his life is characterized by privilege. Melania, his mother, has always placed a strong emphasis on protecting him from any undue public exposure. She has made it her mission to ensure that he enjoys as normal of an upbringing as possible, taking into account the limits that his family's status imposes. Nevertheless, there is no way to disguise the fact that his way of life is anything but typical. He has access to private jets, high-end residences, and a collection of luxury cars that the majority of people can only dream of having. because he is the heir to an enterprise that is worth $3 billion. The road that Barron has taken in terms of education is one that is characterized by greatness. After beginning his education at Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School, he moved on to St. Andrew's Episcopal School in Maryland, where he excelled in both academics and athletics both during his time there. His passion for soccer was particularly noteworthy, yet his interest went beyond the realm of athletics. He also has a penchant for strategic games, aviation, and fashion. According to rumors, Barron is a developing polyglot, just like his mother. He is fluent in English and Slovene, and there are even reports that claim he has investigated other languages. An unassuming reputation as a fashion icon in the making has been gained by him as a result of his refined style, which frequently includes fitted suits that are reminiscent of his father's. In his current role as a student at Columbia University, Barron is experiencing a transition into his own identity. As he follows in the footsteps of his father and siblings, he is deeply involved in the world of business and finance, which has sparked a surge of intrigue and conjecture about his future. He has already made headlines on social media, with students anticipating spotting him around campus. His presence at the Stern School of Business at New York University has already caused waves. It is because of his stunning height, effortlessly stylish clothing, and calm temperament that he has become something of a viral hit, earning him the reputation of being the campus enigma. What's more, his collection of automobiles is absolutely incredible. A somewhat modest profile has been maintained by Barron, in contrast to other celebrity heirs who are known to flaunt their fortune. On the other hand, there are rumors that say he has access to an impressive collection of high-performance luxury automobiles, ranging from Lamborghinis to Rolls-Royces. It should come as no surprise that Barron Trump has a fondness for autos. His father, Donald Trump, has historically been recognized for his admiration of rare and exotic automobiles, and it looks that Barron has inherited that interest. In spite of the fact that he had a lavish upbringing, Barron continues to be a fascinating mystery. In contrast to his older siblings, who have completely immersed themselves in public life, he has mostly avoided the spotlight, which makes his few appearances even more compelling. As a result of the fans' eagerness to find out what lies ahead for him, speculations have ranged from business to politics to a whole new route that he has created for himself. Therefore, what does the future have in store for Barron Trump? Because he had access to an infinite number of chances, he had the ability to take over the family business, enter the world of politics, or establish his own legacy. I can say with absolute certainty that he is more than just the youngest Trump. The entire globe is keeping a close eye on him. Aside from that, Barron has been a part of some of the most opulent living environments that one could ever imagine. One of the most stunning penthouses in the world can be found atop the renowned skyscraper that is Trump Tower in New York City. The penthouse is valued at $119 million. Exuding a sense of utter richness, it is adorned with fittings made of 24-karat gold, including extravagant marble accents, and offering expansive views of Central Park. Barron even had a whole floor to himself when he was a child, complete with a separate nursery, a living room, and a kitchen that was fully stocked with all of the necessary appliances. Nevertheless, Trump Tower is just one of the numerous opulent residences that are part of the real estate empire that the Trump family owns. One of them is a lavish condominium in Uruguay that costs $5 million, and another is a huge house in Westchester County, New York that costs $12 million. Without a shadow of a doubt, Barron has resided in these magnificent residences where he has enjoyed the most luxurious facilities that money can buy. Even though Barron does not yet have a driver's license, his prospective automobile collection is already the envy of many people. Rolling in style has long been a trademark of the Trump brand. Having a fleet that includes Rolls-Royce Phantoms, Bentleys, and top-tier Mercedes-Benz models, each of which has jaw-dropping price tags that exceed $500,000, it is well documented that Donald Trump has a passion for high-end automobiles. It is anticipated that Barron would inherit these ultra-luxurious automobiles, which are in perfect harmony with the extravagant preferences of the Trump family. Furthermore, similar to the majority of billionaire heirs, it would not be shocking if Barron eventually obtained an automobile that was made specifically for him and tailored to his individual desires. For the time being, however, he takes pleasure in being driven around in the most up-to-date and luxurious automobiles owned by his family. which guarantees that he will always arrive in a state of elegance. When he finally does get behind the wheel, his collection is going to be nothing short of incredible. In spite of this, the Trump lifestyle is not confined to the ground. Rather, it also extends into the airstream. In addition to belonging to the real estate and automobile industries, the family's fortune extends into the realm of private aircraft. The Boeing 757 that is owned by Donald Trump, which is commonly referred to as Trump Force One, has a startling worth of $100 million and was designed with gold-plated interiors and a private bedroom. Using this aircraft, the family has traveled all over the world in a level of luxury that is unparalleled. The Trumps rely on their Sikorsky S-76 helicopter, which is a marvel that costs $20 million and exemplifies their preference for both ease and elegance for shorter journeys. Even though Barron has not yet had the opportunity to pilot these high-end aircraft, it is highly possible that he will continue to make use of them in his future excursions. Considering that Barron has access to such privileged conveyance, the question is not whether he will fly in luxury. Rather, the question is where he will choose to go first. What would be your trip location of choice if you were given the opportunity to travel in private jets and yachts similar to those used by Barron? Your thoughts are welcome down below. When it comes to Barron's private life, there is a great deal of speculation happening. There have been rumors going around that he might be entering into a relationship with Clara Jones, a model who is 2 years his senior. Despite the fact that the two have been seen attending events together, Donald Trump has dismissed the rumors, stating that Barron is not interested in dating for the time being. On the PBD podcast, Trump made the remark, "I don't think he's there yet," highlighting the fact that Barron is at ease when he is alone, but gets along well with other people. However, this has not prevented the internet from speculating about the situation. Barron is routinely spotted on the campus of the Stern School of Business at New York University, where he is frequently seen escorted by Secret Service personnel. TikTok is swamped with recordings of their sightings. There have been previous speculations that linked him to classmates Maddie and Sarah Claw, but there has been no confirmation of this. At this point, Barron has mastered the art of keeping the world guessing about his private affairs, regardless of whether or not Clara Jones is involved in the situation. Barron is already ahead of the curve in terms of his financial situation. With his father's multi-billion-dollar empire and properly managed trust funds, he has a future that is safe despite the fact that he is only 18 years old. Barron, on the other hand, is already establishing his own financial success, in contrast to other heirs who live purely off of their inheritance. In order to demonstrate that he is not merely a passive recipient of riches, he has secured lucrative endorsement deals with labels such as Skechers and H&M. This demonstrates that he is actively defining his financial destiny himself. Through his increasing involvement in the real estate businesses that his family is involved in, Barron is establishing himself as a potential future business magnate. As he continues to make savvy financial moves, it is anticipated that his net worth, which is now believed to be somewhere around $100 million, will continue to grow. If we look to the future, we can see that Barron is in an excellent position to become a billionaire in his own right. Barron is expected to inherit a large part in the Trump Organization, which is estimated to be worth $3 billion when Donald Trump passes away at some point in the eventual future. His portfolio already consists of lucrative investments, high-value residences, and personal gains from business activities. This inheritance will just add to his growing array of assets. Barron is well positioned to achieve exponential growth in his fortune, potentially achieving the rank of a billionaire in the not-too-distant future. This is due to the fact that he possesses great commercial acumen, a solid foundation, and an enormous network. Barron Trump is well positioned to become one of the wealthiest Trumps to date, thanks to the fact that he inherited a fortune and has the drive to start his own business. This trajectory ensures that he will be financially independent and leave a legacy that will survive for generations to come. Regardless of whether he continues to contribute to the family company or forges a path that is uniquely his own, it is quite evident that this is only the beginning for Barron Trump, as he continues to acquire knowledge, make investments, and construct his empire. In light of his remarkable climb, what are your thoughts?